Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly mindful look at life and finances with a twist. I'm your host, Richie, and first, I would just like to thank each of you for your continued listening to my little old podcast. I keep saying this. I don't know who's in Alaska, who's in San Diego, but y'all are really listening, and I appreciate y'all. And I've only been in the podcast game for almost 2 weeks now, and I just appreciate everyone who's sharing these episodes with your circles. And I'm just loving to see all the love that I'm getting on social media. Just want to send a big thanks to y'all. And last week on the podcast, we discussed survival of the fittest. Basically everyone's staying healthy right now, especially due to the times that we're facing. I know we're all on lockdown right now. So make sure y'all not eating up all the food in there and still eating your fruits, your vegetables, all the things that you need to do to stay healthy. And get on outside. I'm in California. I'm in Sacramento. And so the weather has been a little chilly, but put a coat on. Go outside, take a walk, ride bikes, do something for yourself so that way you can stay healthy. But today, I have a special treat for y'all. I've invited my frat brother, Darien Ford, into the Mindfully Rich Zone so we can discuss unemployment because I've been getting a lot of questions about this topic. And I always want to make sure that if I bring someone on, I could bring someone who's knowledgeable about the topics that y'all have interest about, especially if it's something that I can't answer. So let me tell you a little bit about Darien. Darien is the CEO of CareerVice Consulting, and he's been in the human resource world for over 5 years now. Hey, Darien.
Hey, what's going on, Gina?
I'm doing pretty good. How's it going out there for you?
Everything is going well for me right now. No complaints at
Okay.
all.
There you go. Well, I'm just so glad that you could join us for the podcast today. I thought that you would be the perfect person
Right.
to jump into this conversation. And since you're new to the podcast, I just want to let you know how I begin and introduce topics.
Okay.
So normally I'll take a popular music song title, and that will be the topic point that we discuss. And so, with everything going on in the world, I believe everybody got money on their mind. And I'm taking Lil Wayne's song just because Lil Wayne, that's my dude. That's my dude. I grew up listening to Lil Wayne. He is one of my favorite rappers, one of my best of all times, hands down.
Right.
So I'm going to use the title Money on My Mind to discuss unemployment and some of the other tidbit things that we're going to talk about today. How's
I
that
like
sound?
it. I like it a lot.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into our conversation. So, right now, a lot of people, they're facing uncertainty due to the pandemic, and a lot of the things that are going on have people wondering, where am I going to get my next check from?
Hmm.
So for the people who've been displaced or either lost hours or have been laid off or fired, all of those words, I believe they all kind of go in there. People are wondering who qualifies for unemployment.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a good question. Unemployment benefits are designed to help people who are out of work, as you said, with no fault of their own. And so it's just meant to be a stopgap measure, you say, as a way to temporarily maintain a portion of the income that they're currently getting right now until they can find a new job.
Okay. And I've been reading, and I know we talked offline before we got on the podcast. I've been seeing that each state is doing something different. And so, for instance, here in California, I didn't know that people who have lost hours or are just laid off temporarily, that they can file for unemployment. So it's looking like people just really need to go into not really go into the office. They can go online and check to see what their state is doing, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They can go right online to the Department of Labor website where their state where they're currently living, and they'll be able to check to see if they how they go about applying for unemployment benefits.
Right. So this is a simple question, but I just like to always get the simple. There's never a stupid question. For those who
Uh-huh.
don't know how to file for unemployment, just in case they're facing this right now, how do you file for unemployment?
So it's simple. Again, you can go to your Department of Labor website and look for unemployment. It's called unemployment insurance or
Okay.
unemployment benefits. Or you could just simply Google, if you're not able to find it through, their website, just Google unemployment benefits and then whatever state you're living in right now. And it's just really simple. You go online, they'll ask you a couple questions about your past and current employment, how much you're making, and then they'll determine if you're eligible or not.
Okay. And so it's funny because offline, I remember us talking, like, I've only been unemployed once in life. Like, I am a worker bee. I'm a Capricorn, so I work, 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 work. That's just my thing. Rihanna, Rihanna definitely made
She
that
made that
song,
song for you?
yes, for me, because I am a worker bee. And so I was unemployed due to moving from Mississippi to California, but I was only unemployed for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And so I filed for unemployment, and it was, I think I received 2 checks because it was only 2 weeks, and the misconception is people think that they're going to continue making the same wage that they were making while they were employed. And so is there a percentage? Is there a cap? What should people, when they're looking, when they're saying, you know what, I'm about to quit my job, or my job, I'm about to get fired, I'm just going to live off my unemployment. Is there a percentage or a cap on the income that you receive in unemployment?
Yes, so there is a percentage. So they typically look at 60% of what you earn. But the discrepancy there is that you're not going to be getting 60% of what you earn on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to cap you depending on where you fall into that bracket. So
Mm-hmm.
currently right now in California, you're only going to get $450 at maximum a week if you make over like $10,000. In the state of Maryland,
That is nothing.
that's nothing. Exactly.
That is nothing. A
Nothing.
week?
A
Oh
week.
my God.
A week. In state of Maryland, you're looking at $430. So even with the pandemic that's going on right now, those numbers are still staying the same. The only thing is they're just broadening the horizon of who is eligible to get unemployment benefits.
Man, that is nothing. And that's a big thing, because some people just think that, okay, well, I'm just not going to do the work, and y'all go ahead and fire me. I'll just file unemployment. That's a very good point to bring up, especially those max that we got a chance to see, for both of our states. And
Yeah.
so that brings me to my next question. So you can't live off unemployment.
You cannot live off unemployment. Unemployment is not meant for you to have as your actual income. It's just something, again, to kind of get you to the next job. So don't think that you'll be able to still live your same lifestyle that you were doing before. You're not going to be able to pay your car note. You're not going to be able to pay your rent.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do a lot of things. I will say that the main thing unemployment is there for is for you to eat at most.
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't depend on that, because there's also a limit to how long you can be on unemployment. And also you have to make sure that you're actively looking for employment each week to make sure you're still getting those little checks that they're sending.
Right now, we have nothing but time.
Right.
We got a bunch of time on our hands. And so both me and you, we both have full-time jobs, and we also have passion projects that we do. Like, a lot of people like to use the word side hustle, but we have different projects that we work on, or businesses that we have aside from our current income. And so I wanted to talk about those things that we've done, and maybe we can inspire the people, the listeners now, to finding, a passion project if they're not doing anything. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit, just because you're a full-time worker,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're also the CEO of CareerVice
Yeah.
Consulting. And so how did you mix, I'm going to say, a soul project, because I know that this is something that you love. And so what made you decide to develop a second stream of income, or develop a side business, for yourself?
It was, I want something that I can ultimately own and say that this is
Mm-hmm.
mine, and I'm doing this as a passion for not only myself, but I'm making sure that those who I'm working with also feel passionate about where they are in their career right now. What can they be doing as far as next step or leveling up in their career, whether it's more money,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's that next position, whether you're like, hey, I don't even know what I want to do at all. So, it's that passion of me, being in HR and just being able to help those who are in need on the side as well. And so I'm able to now, again, not only do my full-time job, but also do this as my my passion, and also turn it into a side hustle as well, because we do resumes and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. How so when did you decide to make your passion project? So like how long after you were working that you just say, I want to own something. I want to do, this. I want to start Career Vice Consulting.
Yeah, so I actually started CareerVice before it was CareerVice 3 years ago, because I was just helping those, who wanted some type of career advice, whether it was resume building, because I'm in HR, so they're always asking me HR questions. So I was just doing all this for free,
Oh, okay.
and that's how you really start consulting. Everybody comes to you, they ask you for advice, you give a couple
Yeah.
recommendations, and so over the years, I just was like, I don't know if I really want to work past 35. Well, I don't want to work for anybody else. And started
Mhm.
to plan out, hey, what could I do to where as though I can, one, make money, of course, but also inspire other people, inspire other people to be
Right.
better. And this is where I get my enjoyment out of it at the most, where I'm able to make sure
Mhm.
people, know their value, know their worth, and be able to speak some type of encouragement into them. And so I was like, hey, maybe I should turn this into an actual business and make it work.
Mhm. I like that. That's good. And so, for those people who have time, it's like right now, what are you passionate about? I can relate to your story. I've been in the financial industry for almost 14 years now. I literally all of my adult life been working in the financial industry. And before I had the current job that I have now, because I'm a financial educator, so I'm out there, I get paid to talk. And back in the day when I was a kid, I was always that kid that got in trouble for talking because I love talking. And now I, I turned that, into something that I do for a living
Yeah.
because I'm good at it. And not that I just love to talk, but I have a message, to show and to
Hmm.
talk to people about. And so I'm a financial educator in my career. I'm a public speaker on the side. And also now having Mindfully Rich podcast, that was a passion project for me, just like you said. I wanted to be able to have a message and get it out there to the world and just help those people who need to be seen, those people who need to be heard and hear information that they don't normally
Right.
hear,
Hmm.
often. So that was what I did. And so for everyone that's listening right now, we have nothing but time. What are you passionate about? If you're unemployed right now, if you're trying to find something else to get into, tap into whatever your talents are, your passions are, so that way you can start a passion project and maybe that can be a stream of
Yep.
income for you, soon. Right now, Mindfully Rich podcast, it doesn't make any money or anything, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. People are enjoying it. Just like you said with Career Vice Consulting, it was something that you were already doing for free. You turned it into a business. So, the listeners out there, you hear our stories. I'm hoping that you're able to take something from that and start something for yourself. If you are facing, even if you aren't facing unemployment, what else can you do?
Right.
How can you be offering your services and serving, people?
Hmm.
Yes. So good conversation there and still flowing with, the money on my
Yeah.
mind. Let's talk about these stimulus checks. I don't know if it's going to be
Woo!
called a stimulus check or what they're going to call it, because the rumor is, what's T right now is that we may all be receiving a check. But do you know, I mean, we're looking into it right now, but some people may receive a checks, others won't. You'll just have to do your
Yeah.
research on your own and check that out, and you'll get your notifications however that goes. But, I just know that that is what word on the street is that some people will be receiving the check. Just thought that I would just
Yep.
bring that up just a little bit.
And I do want to say, like, don't get mad if you may not get a check. You can't miss money you never
There
had.
you go.
So don't count. You can't count money you
There,
never had
there,
either.
there you
So
go. That's
you'll be all right.
something very good to look at. And so, we're continuing talking about, money on my mind. So let's talk about those people who are receiving income right now. And when I say money on your mind, that's money that's coming in and also money that's going out. And so I'm a big proponent of talking about the big B word, which is budgeting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
with
Yes.
the times that we're in right now, budgeting comes into place and is so imperative because there was a couple of weeks ago, or maybe just say 1 week ago, a lot of people were doing a lot of extra spending. That money has to come from somewhere. Right now, I
Hmm.
believe is a good time for people to start really looking at their budgets and seeing where they can cut, what it is that they can do so that they can start saving money. So I want to ask you, what have you done in your own life, and what have you benefited from by budgeting?
Yeah, so I use Excel spreadsheets all the time. So that's what I use to budget. So I calculate all of my expenses, and I determine my income, and then I just start subtracting from there. But make sure that I know what exactly I need and what exactly do I want.
Mm-hmm.
And so I make those clearly defined. And if it's anything that I feel like I can benefit from, let's just say a gym
Right.
membership, some of those extra expenses that are on the side. I would say try to work out from home for free at
Yeah.
first, or just start doing outside cardio. And then if you feel like you need to step your game up, then go ahead and do those gym memberships. So I'm just all that to say, like, there are a lot of services out here that people offer, that you can just do for free
Mm-hmm.
on your own time to kind of help
Right.
save. And then eventually, if you need a little bit more help with anything, then you think about, oh, maybe I might want to go spend a little bit more on this.
Right.
Even like uh, making your own lunch, you can save a lot of
You
money just
sure
by taking your
can.
lunch
Oh my
every.
goodness. When I started meal
Yeah,
prepping, that was when I
it's,
said,
it's
you know what?
it's
Those
easy.
people had a point. They had a point.
Uh huh.
Meal prepping is
You might get
cool.
tired of eating the same thing every day, but you know
I don't
what?
get tired of,
That
I'm gonna tell you
$20
what.
you saving from spending,
Yes.
it adds
Yes,
up.
and you wanna know what? I get tired of being broke. So because I get tired of being broke, I can eat the same thing for a few days. So that's
There you go.
very good point to make. And so for everyone out there, whether you're unemployed right now or if you're still employed, you still have it's still imperative that you're looking at the income that you have coming in and all of those expenses you have coming out. And when you're looking at expenses, just like you brought up the gym membership, right now all the gyms are closed. A lot of people may be recognizing I can work out from home right now. I think that a lot of spending
Hmm.
habits are going to be changed after we experience
Yes.
this time because you're not out. You don't have to be out. Well, we can't be out because everything is closed and you're going to have to decrease something. So I'm hoping that people can take a look at the money they have coming in and examine all those things that they used to have going out so they can find where they can cut so that they can have more money to save.
There you go.
That is very important for you to do. And so, Darian, I just thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. I try to keep, this under 20 minutes. I told the listeners in the beginning because I know people's attention span just don't expand that long. It just don't. It just don't. So,
It doesn't.
you bring a bunch of jewels, drop the mic a few times, and then you leave. And so before before we leave, can you please tell the people about all of the services that you offer, through CareerVice Consulting?
Yeah. So, excuse me. But yeah, so career advice is basically for anyone who is making a career move, and we always know that that's an important
Mm-hmm.
decision, and it requires a serious thought and consideration. So, we're here to pretty much help you out with that. I do have a team of two.
Okay.
And so currently, right now, we offer career counseling, we offer resume building workshops, cover letters, LinkedIn, which is very
Yes,
important, how to build that profile, because that right there is your
it
branding,
is.
when you're not using it. So, and it gets a lot of recruiters to your inbox by having a LinkedIn. We do interview tips. We also do self assessments,
Mm-hmm.
and what those self assessments do is basically um, look at your current skills and capabilities. And if you have an idea of your next position, we look at what those skills and capabilities are required in that next
Mm-hmm.
job. And we kind of measure to see, will you be successful in that role?
Mm.
What type of skills you may be missing, to be able to be successful in the next role. And if you are missing those skills, we're going to come up with a plan to give you recommendations on how to close those gaps so that you can be successful in that next role. And that's what Career Advice is. We're offering the best solution possible for all our clients.
That is wonderful, and lots of people need that service. So, how can the people get in touch with you if they would like to, consult with you, if they would like to use your consulting services?
Yeah, so I definitely recommend that everyone go to CareerVice Consulting on Facebook, or you can go to the IG, which we have right now, that we're at CareerVice Consulting. So that is CareerVice Consulting. Or if you want to hit me up personally,
Hmm.
typically when it's about business, my DMs are open. uh, you can hit me on my IG at BOODA1914.
All right, good deal. Darian, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. Thank you for lending your expertise and being a part of this conversation. For all
Definitely.
Yes, for all my listeners, if you want to keep the conversation going, you want to send some love my way, I'm on IG at Mindfully Rich is where you can find me. Until next time, I hit y'all with another one.